睇住你大，睇住你大，冇啊，點咁多？冇啊，同埋作為加州呢個加州嘅呢個眾議員咧，但係呢個關稅係美國幫政府嘅，咁我哋加州嗰時都幫你哋睇。好似話你話英文定係中文？即係如果人哋除咗齋講就話如果齋噏啫嘛，咁樣如果做啲嘢俾你，有咩作為咗你嘅感受啦？要追加翻。如果明日就話好玩。安守真係我咁啊嘛，係即係唔使個立法㗎嘛。加州開始咩嘢？
Awesome. All right. Testing. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to San Francisco's Chinatown today. I'm Judy Lee. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm Judy Lee with the San Francisco Chinese Chamber of Commerce, and we are very grateful today for Assemblymember Matt Haney who is here with us organizing this press event, because this is a very important time in Chinatown for all of our business merchants, as you see next to me. They will be speaking shortly. So without further ado, we want to first invite up Assemblymember Matt Haney.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's joined us today. Thank you to all of the Chinatown leaders and merchants, especially from the Chinatown Chamber of Commerce. You know, I want to just be very clear. Chinatown is the economic and cultural heart of San Francisco. When Chinatown is doing well, San Francisco is doing well. This community has hundreds and hundreds of businesses that provide support and goods and jobs to so many people, not only in this community, not only in San Francisco, but from all over the world. People come here to San Francisco, and they have for decades and decades, to visit our city, to spend time in our city, to shop in our city, because they want to come here to Chinatown. This is such a unique and special place, and right now it's facing an existential crisis. It was finally a community that was coming out of a tough time during the pandemic. This was one of the first places to have to shut down, the hardest hit community economically in our city from the pandemic. And it was finally recovering. And now we are facing an existential crisis brought about by this misguided, dangerous trade war that has been started by President Trump. It is something that he is saying is targeting the Chinese government. It's intended to punish them. It is punishing our local businesses. It is punishing our community. It is destroying so much of the economic possibility and potential and recovery that we have. And when Chinatown is hit, all of us are hit here in the city, and the ripple effects for our economy, for jobs, for opportunities and recovery will hit all of us. You're going to hear examples today of how harmful these tariffs are. And there is no one who is being hit harder by this trade war and by these tariffs than this community here in Chinatown. Take Kevin Tang, the co-owner of Sarang Hello, a popular K-pop merchandise store. He imports 95% of his products from South Korea and China. A 25% tariff on South Korean goods could raise prices by $5 an item, pushing his already tight margin to a breaking point. And he's not alone. This is not just one store. Every single store, everywhere you look, every single store owner, shop owner, consumer is going to be impacted negatively by these tariffs. Han So, owner of New Asia Supermarket, saw a 20% drop in sales after China tariffs hit. He's been forced to raise prices 15 to 30%, but fears that even more hikes will drive away his low-income customers who rely on his store for affordable food. Chinatown restaurants, which are a jewel not only for our city but for the world, depend on affordable imports to be able to survive, are seeing their costs skyrocket. Wheat flour prices have nearly doubled from $20 to $43 for a 50-pound bag thanks to these tariffs. That's not just flour, that's everything that they are needing to be able to provide their food, from spices to specialty teas. All of the things that people come here for to enjoy, that are special, that are unique about Chinatown, about our city, are seeing their cost to import skyrocket, and the consumers are feeling that as well as the businesses. I also, before I turn it over to some of the merchants who are going to share their experiences, I also want to say that so many of these businesses are immigrant-owned. They are entrepreneurs who are able to provide an essential product or service for this community. People who live here, who rely on the affordable foods that are here, the products that are imported. We cannot survive as a community under this trade war and with these tariffs. And we are here united to call for President Trump and the federal government to not only reverse this dangerous trade war, which is damaging and targeting our businesses here in this community, but to support our businesses, to make sure that they're getting the level of support to recover fully. We should be looking at how we can have more opportunities, more goods coming to this community and able to create the businesses and the revenue and the jobs that we desperately need. This is a small community, but it is a critically important one for all of what it provides to our city, to our visitors, and to the world. We want to now, I want to now introduce some of the merchant leaders who are going to tell you their personal experiences about this trade war, the negative impacts that it's having. Actually, I think Judy's going to do the introductions. But again, I want to thank the San Francisco Chinese Chamber of Commerce and all of the merchants who are here. We need to be supporting you. We need to be speaking up loud and clear about the damaging impact of this dangerous trade war that is not targeting anybody but our businesses and our residents and hurting them every single day more and more. Thank you, Judy. I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much, Assemblymember Haney. Well, to kick off our series of merchant speakers today will be the president of the San Francisco Chinese Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Donald Liu.
Thank you. Thank you, Assemblyman Matt Haney, for your remarks about the impacts of the tariff in Chinatown. We have over 1,000 businesses in Chinatown. 90% of the good and product that we sell here are from China. And this the tariff and its uncertainties is creating a very for our merchants, especially small businesses, to continue. I feel that the current situation is potentially going to be worse than the pandemic because we had government, but now with this economic trade war, we feel that the effect's going to be long-lasting, and it's going to threaten the very fabric of Chinatown. As we know today, Chinatown has always been a place where new immigrants come in to start a family, to start a business, and allow opportunity for upward mobility. With that threatened, Chinatown, as the oldest, starting in 1848, and the way that we continue to be relevant and support our merchants and our community will be greatly affected. So just an example, we know that across the board, many merchants has raised their prices 30 to 40%. And also some prices has gone up as much as 100%. Restaurant has, they have not been able to pass all the price increase to the merchants because they have to balance between businesses and also making sure they have to balance between the business ongoing and make sure that they can maintain the prices as well. So yeah, so that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Donald. Next, we will have Edward Su, who represents the Chinatown Merchants United Association of San Francisco. Please, Ed.
Thank you. Today here we're trying to be, our Chinatown have a lot of merchants, not appalling in Chinatown. We're calling about the whole San Francisco, California, everywhere. Right now the business is real hard after the pandemics. And right now in March is going back to normal on it. But right now the tariffs to make us getting worse than the pandemics. Why? Because during the pandemics we do have the grant, we do have a like some kind of funding to helping us. Right now, we don't have any funding or any grant to helping us. Our business getting hurt. During this time is between the April and May. We have a lot of merchants like going to China, going to the Asia, try to order merchandise coming for this year end. Unfortunately, right now they cannot make any decision because they don't know the pricing can be affordable for the customer. Can they buy it, afford it? So right now, a lot of people, a lot of merchants, they lost the direction. They don't know how to be survived. I'm so worried about after the end of this year, a lot of business will be saying, I cannot afford to be shut down the business. I don't want to see that. I'm understanding right now they try to be war trade on it, but affecting a lot of the merchants, a lot of people in United States too, because of inflation. A lot of people cannot be afforded. So I hope our governments can really consider not only for certain people, it's concerned about everyone in the United States, in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Next, we have one of our merchants. Yeah, we'll do question and answers after. Thank you very much. Yes. Next, we will have Mr. Ben Gong from Grants Market. Please, Ben.
Oh, hi. My name is Ben, and last name is Gong. Yeah, been part of the Chinatown and as a merchant, and our business is hurting. Yeah, right now, pretty much our supplies went up from like 10% up to 40%, and I don't know what's going to happen, in the near future. So right now, I'm trying to, have the, our government, sit down and, try to settle, what we have right now in the trade world. So that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. All right. Well, lastly, we have our business owner in front of our Lion Trading storefront here, Megan Lee, as well as Lucas Lee, please. That's Hiya, Megan.
Hello， 大家好，我係 Megan Lee。咁咧我就啱啱咧，因為 COVID-19 咧6年咧，我冇翻中國啦。咁我啱啱翻到中國，我啱啱翻嚟唔係幾日嘅啫。咁就我哋之前咧係訂好個貨櫃，咁我準備咁多年冇翻去啦，咁我睇下有冇啲新嘅產品翻去睇下加啲落去咧，咁我就出個貨櫃啦。點知到我翻到去中國嘅時候，咁我哋去好多工廠啊，好多個地方啊，我哋去參觀啦。咁然後我哋每日瞓醒，我哋嘅美國嘅總統咧就關於嗰個貿易戰，咁咧就75啊、104啊、125啊、200幾嘅，我哋咧就到我喺中國聽到呢個消息嘅時候咧，我就一啲興奮、一啲開心都冇，因為我知道咧，第一我個貨櫃嚟唔到，第二我知道咁樣對我哋嘅小商業咧嘅打擊係非常非常之大嘅。因為點解呢？我哋依家所銷售嘅產品呢，係 under 25% 呢，嗰啲商家呢已經覺得好困難，跟住佢繼續過咗年之後呢，加到45，即係唔好再講貴啦。到我哋啲貨未去到45，啲客仔都係接受唔到，所以呢呢一個呢佢嘅關稅咁樣打法呢，我哋就好彷徨。咁希望有關嘅部門啊，或者呢個心聲，希望我哋選呢個總統咧係要民生。咁如果佢上到嚟咧咁樣咧，我哋係民不聊生，唔係民生。多謝。
Hello, my name is Lucas, and I'm representing Lion Trading on behalf of our owner, Megan Lee. So I'm just going to translate a little bit about what she mentioned. She hasn't been back to China in about 6 years, and she was very excited to go back to China to order new inventory for our future plans for the business. And it was really upsetting to see that the tariffs was changing every night. And so now she is concerned for the future of our business, and she's trying to figure out ways to continue to go from here. And this is more about, it's not just the financial side of things, it's also the cultural side as well. I feel like we as a community are losing, we're at risk of losing the traditions that the community has spent so much time protecting. And so I hope that the government will work something out and help small businesses like us to continue to thrive.
Thank you very much, Lucas. Well, before we start question and answer from our media friends, I want to acknowledge a few folks who are here with us, also from the food and beverage industry, starting with Ricky Chan from 212. He has a bar here down at Sacramento and Kearney, as well as Amanda Yan, who's here. Amanda, she is the face of Han's Wonton, the longest standing wonton noodle house, one of our favorites here in San Francisco's Chinatown, who has recently been hit also with less patrons. So we're going to kickstart our question and answer, and before we start that, I'm going to pass this back to Assemblymember Matt Haney.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you for, again, all of the merchants who are here, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce, Chinatown Merchants United. I think something very important was also said here, which is that this is the oldest Chinatown in the United States. For over 100 years, it has been a place that has provided a connection between the United States and China for new immigrants to come here, to be able to start businesses here, to be able to import goods here and provide those to people in this community. That is such an essential part of what Chinatown provides and has provided for far over 100 years. And that is directly under attack right now. All of us know that the goods that you can get in Chinatown are so special. You cannot get them anywhere else in our city or beyond. And that is a special relationship that has been created for such a long amount of time. Anyone who comes to San Francisco, we know, tell them first to go to Chinatown. And they want to come here because of the goods that are here, because of what you can buy here, the clothing, the food, the experiences that are here, that now are seeing their prices to import go up by 20, 30, 40, 50%. But it's also important to remember that it's not just about the visitors. There are people in our city who rely on Chinatown for everything that they need for their essentials. This is where they get their medicine. This is where they get their clothing. This is where they get their goods to cook. This is where they get all of the things that keep them and their family to be able to live and survive. And as you heard, over 90% of that are imports that come to this community, and all of those are seeing their cost to import and their prices skyrocket. This is a direct attack on these businesses, and it is a direct attack on our residents who rely on this community to be able to survive and the access to the goods that are essential for them, for them to be able to live. So I want to open it up now. There are questions. I know you had one here for, I think, for Ed.
Yeah, are they having?
Before you ask me, yeah.
Tell us where you're from. Ruth Dussault with Bay City News.
Bay City News.
Are they having trouble? Are the Chinese suppliers not selling to them, or are they just charging higher? Are they having trouble finding?
They're charging higher, and also the right now uncertainty. The uncertainty about the what the percentage will be when the products come here. So that's the reason right now a lot of people holding the purchase right now, because they cannot.
We're holding our
Yeah, we have to holding that, because we don't know
after the arrival here what the pricing will be up to, and they can affordable or not.
They're not holding their purchase.
No. They won't. Sure.
Is there shortages, supply shortages at all?
No, not at all.
Thank you. Thank you. I have a question. Please.
Levy from CalMatters. Can you tell me how many jobs could be affected here in Chinatown if businesses have to close, and have merchants and restaurants already started cutting back?
If I remember correctly, we have about, let me answer that question a little differently. We have about 6,500 residents in Chinatown. SRO, no, I'm sorry. Let me correct that. 6,500 SRO and apartment units in Chinatown, and 2/3 of them actually work in Chinatown, right? Either to help with this with the tourist industry or the service industry, just working in the store. My guess is that it's going to be, business is already looking at what. For many businesses, the first step is how to sustain the business and also how to maintain employment. If this continue, then I think your question definitely is going to affect employment and also vacancy in China.
Yeah. I agree that right now hurting our business, small business, a lot. The reason is the main reason is a lot of the people employed right now the owner, I mean, the merchants, like, they have to be cut down their costs. The first starting is cut down their employee. Okay. Second, they cut down the portion, okay, for the restaurant. So that is the reason that there will be a lot of cutback on it. Right now, we just started on it. I would say right now we'll be about 10, 15%. Maybe later on, we don't know about what will be affecting later on.
And Donald said earlier also there are over 1,000 businesses that are here. And it's important to underscore this is just the very beginning of this. And we're already seeing, you know, the cost to import 30, 40%, the cost of wheat, some of the goods that are essentials for what they provide and what they cook for the restaurants. And so that will start with maybe a little bit higher prices, which might mean less customers coming in or squeezing the customers who rely on it. Less portions, changing what they offer. And I assume there was no other choice. It would be to begin to have less employees. But this is escalating, and it's escalating very, very fast. And they're seeing how quickly they're being squeezed. And there's no way that these businesses can survive with these escalating, skyrocketing costs. They cannot survive without being able to import, and their margins are already very small, and they need to be able to provide these at affordable prices, especially for this community.
We have here David Wong from Singtao Daily.
I have questions. You know, the trade war beginning from Trump, from president, from the federal, but how can we do for the California government?
So we want to be clear that we're united and that this trade war needs to stop. At the same time, our governor has stepped forward and said if he needs to begin to negotiate some different types of trade agreements as he can on behalf of California to set up particular trade arrangements, that he will do that directly. It's unfortunate that California is increasingly having to act like our own country, negotiating trade agreements with countries and trying to find ways to reduce the cost of these imports, because our businesses, our economy cannot survive without these imports, especially coming from Asia. I think California is especially vulnerable when it comes to ensuring access to the Asian markets and to the Asian goods from Asia, especially from China. And so I would also support and call on our governor to step forward and find ways to reduce the cost of these imports for our communities and our businesses in any way that we can as a state. And so, you know, as far as that, we need to step forward. We also need to provide, to the extent we can, direct support for the businesses that are being hit by these tariffs. This is not something that was a pandemic that hit us. This was a hit that came directly from our federal government, but many of the impacts are similar in terms of the hits on the revenue and the bottom line. But there are things that the state can do. But the most important thing that can put an end to this is put an end to this dangerous and crazy trade war, which is at the heart of what is causing this.
Two more questions right here.
The state of California and other states have filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration over tariffs. You guys are speaking about direct effects of some of these tariffs. Is anyone considering any kind of a class action lawsuit or something to that effect against the administration as well?
I think every type of action needs to be taken to stop these tariffs. California is suing alongside other states to stop these tariffs. These should be the main examples and witnesses of how harmful and dangerous this trade war is. Their story should be included in that, and especially when it comes to California and the connection and relationship to China and to Asia. This is at the heart of it. This is demonstrating how harmful and damaging and how these tariffs are not hurting another country's government. They're hurting our local businesses. They're hurting our economy. And so, yes, we'll sue. And I would say if there are other ways that there can be a class action even from individuals in addition to the state action, that we should do that. But we'll be reaching out. We'll reach out to the Attorney General to make sure that he understands that this should be a part of the case that moves forward. I think Chinatown is at the center of why these tariffs are so harmful and how devastating they're going to be, not to another country's government, but to us here in our country.
Assemblymember Haney, Lauren Thomas with CBS News. We heard earlier about how this is even potentially more devastating today because of the tariffs been compared to COVID, in part because of the government subsidies that were provided to small businesses. Do you have any plans to announce legislation to possibly provide some government subsidies to these businesses that are being affected?
Well, again, first thing we want to do is we want to stop this trade war. There's no reason that this has to continue. California should not have to subsidize the failures and the war that our own federal government is waging on our local businesses. With that said, we're going to have to step in. We're going to have to step up, not only suing the federal government, not only potentially finding ways to reduce the cost of those imports ourselves by negotiating some trade agreements, but also, yes, we should look at
And now our first session, introducing Llama API, a seamless way to revolutionize your workflow.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here today. It's good to see everyone. My name is Dom Divakaruni, and I lead the development team for the Llama API.